I'm a Harvard law student, and this is the update you've been looking for Trump versus Harvard. If you didn't know, this past week, Trump put a halt on Harvard's enrollment of foreign students. This new policy would affect a quarter of Harvard's student body and would affect more than 7,000 visa holders. However, Harvard just took home a big W. Harvard filed in federal court, and a federal judge has temporarily blocked the ban. The court filing lists a lot of different issues, some of them being First Amendment, due process, Administrative Procedures Act. Let me know if you guys want me to dive more into detail exactly what's in this court filing and why Trump did this in the first place. Also, let me know in the comments who you think is going to win this legal battle.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Modest Transformation by Celeste. In today's video, we are doing another reaction and we're going to see what is going on in this real world. And yes, so if you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button if you want to see more, and let's get into the video.
So this is why he has a hatred for Ivy League schools. Because he couldn't get into Harvard. That's why he hates Obama and Obama's daughter and everybody else who's gotten into Harvard and Ivy League schools. Because look at his grades. Is that an F in statistics? That's an F in statistics. Kamala tried to tell y'all. How do you get a D plus in English literature? The C's in finance, microeconomics, and management, those all track because he's bankrupted every company he's ever tried to have. And he owed a lot to his bankers, debtors, creditors, whatever the case may be. Yeah, so this makes a lot of sense. This track and the 1.28 GPA, now it's all making sense. This is the fool leading the rest of the fools. And y'all really said this man was qualified. Y'all really said this man was qualified to be the president because he was racist enough to make you comfortable in your racism. Y'all didn't care none about him actually knowing how to run a country anywhere other than in the ground. Now it all makes sense. Oh, okay.
President Trump is escalating his feud with Harvard University this morning. NBC News learns, breaking news here, the Trump administration is seeking to cut all remaining ties with the famed university after the president floated the idea of pulling and redistributing billions of dollars in federal grants from the Ivy League school. Let's bring in NBC News senior White House.
Harvard just humiliated Donald Trump in court as they secured a victory blocking his recent executive order. Now, yesterday, Donald Trump signed an executive order that would block Harvard from enrolling foreign students, which represents about 27% of their student body. Within 24 hours, that executive order was overturned in court. It didn't even hold up an entire day, absolutely humiliating Donald Trump. And the best part is, in the order, it calls out some of his more popular staff members. Listen to this. Harvard College has made a sufficient showing that it has provided notice to the defendants, Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, Marco Rubio, that unless a motion for temporary restraining order is granted, it will sustain immediate and irreparable injury, and therefore it's granted. Yeah. I absolutely love this because Donald Trump has been playing tough with Harvard for some reason. Very specifically Harvard. A lot of universities are doing the things Harvard is doing, but Donald Trump has something against them. I'm more curious about what it is, but for now, this is a beautiful defeat.
Okay, y'all, be honest. Do it not seem like Trump is like literally throwing a temper tantrum like my 4-year-old with Harvard? How is it that you are upset that somebody told you no? That's what all of this is about. You trying to tell these schools what they can do, who they can and can't let in, no DEI, no this, no that. And people are finding out the hard way what DEI really means. And Harvard said, you know what? You're not going to tell us what to do at our school. We're going to do what we want to do. We're a private institution. We have the right to do so because we are a private institution. And Trump just throwing temper tantrum. Oh, we're going to take their funds away. They can't get grants. They can't get... Grow up. You are supposed to be president of the United States, and you're throwing temper tantrums because you're not getting your way. You sound like my 4-year-old. That makes no sense. And to anybody standing beside he's throwing temper tantrums. Like nobody can tell him no. But then again, he did say grab a bottle. Okay, bye.
Donald Trump's administration just announced that they are canceling all remaining federal contracts with Harvard University. This comes directly after Harvard announces that they are suing the Trump administration for violating their constitutional rights. If you're new here, my name is Ethan. I'm a graduating senior at Harvard. Today was our first day of a 3-day ceremony for graduation. I'm in my gown, and just a few hours ago, we received news that the Trump administration is continuing to target our university. So the Trump administration has already halted $2.2 billion, but now an additional $100 million of federal contracts is under review. And the reason why that is so important is because these aren't just contracts that have no meaning or significance. These are research contracts. The federal government funds extremely talented, hardworking researchers to research heart disease, obesity, cancer, and many other topics for the greater good of America and the world at large. And that's why it's so damaging when the Trump administration decides to withhold funding, because there are communities that rely on this research. There are disadvantaged people that benefit tremendously from this research. And every time this president weaponizes the executive branch to continue his attacks on higher education, it affects real people's lives. It's not just Harvard that gets affected, it's people all across the globe. And we must put a stop to this executive overreach, because it won't stop with us. It'll be school after school after school that won't bend to the knee for the president, and that simply isn't right.
Well, wow, you guys heard that. I just want to say that life is very short, and we're in this hatred war at this moment, and it's so silly. We shouldn't be even like that towards one another. I don't care what race you are, but we really need to help one another, to better people, food and everything. Research of these diseases going on. In autism too, like why so many kids are having autism. So it is the food and the water we drinking and insulin as like the shots the kids get. And Harvard is one of the top notch schools. You I feel like everybody's trying to hit, Trump administration is going in too fast of doing stuff. I feel like just hitting from left and right. We don't have no plan or anything. Um, they already took food stamps away from people, Medicaid, from people who do work, who are really in need of that. That's just very. You don't do that to people. Um, how you say you're making America great again? You're making it worse. Everyone that is in America has worked very hard, whether you're black, white, or whatever your nationality is, and everyone should be respected. You know, um, Racism is just hate. It don't bother us because our ancestors went through it, and we're going through it again, and our grandparents and our mothers. It's just a form of hate, and people are very scared. So they use those tactics to scare us, and we're not backing down. But um, but please don't mess with Harvard school. Please, it's a lot of people that work very hard to get where they are, and then they also trying to get jobs, but it's hard to get jobs because nobody's not hiring. But these young adults have worked very hard to get into that school and to be educated and to help people around the world. And you see that people take advantage of that. But please just leave that alone. Let it go. What do you guys think? Comment down below how you feel about this situation with Trump versus Harvard. And let me know what else you guys would like to do a reaction to. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, ciao.